we, before we could come to the main issue, we had to take up a subsidiary issue, which was most unfortunate. A vital, related but subsidiary issue. And that was that we found, to our astonishment, all of us have come here for the last many decades repeatedly as individual parties, as collective multi-party delegations. I myself must have led more than 50 delegations here. We are 11 parties. We were a total of only 18 persons of 11 parties. But two things we have objected to inside as preliminary issues, and we have therefore gone in under protest and signed the attendance under protest. One is a requirement communicated to us suddenly in the last 2 days that only the heads of the political parties, namely the chairman or the head or the president of the party, alone should attend or can attend. This is unheard of, unthinkable. It will render the dialogue between political parties and a constitutional body like the Election Commission absolutely impossible, non-feasible. It has never happened in the last so many years we've been coming here. The second was, we believe, a rather pedantic, a very sterile insistence on 2 persons per party. This has no legal basis, no legal sanction. But even if you were to assume that there are 2 persons per party, today we had 11 parties or 10 parties. 2 will mean 22 or 20. We were only 18. Yet because many had only 1 per party, Congress had 3 or 4. My senior colleagues Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Kheda, Akhilesh Ji from Bihar, and we were talking of Bihar, sat out for 3.5 hours or 3 hours. This is most unfortunate. We have had other election commissions, other election commissioners, other delegations. It never happened. We have requested them to work out a system whereby this does not recur. It makes us feel bad, and I don't think that bitterness should be allowed to happen. On the merits, we raised several issues. I'll only very quickly itemize them, give you a thumbnail sketch. Firstly, we asked, the last revision was in 2003. For 22 years, more than 4 or 5 Bihar elections have happened. Were all those elections faulty? Were all those elections hugely imperfect? Were all those elections without an SIR of this kind happening after 22 years? Completely unreliable elections? Second, those elections which were held in the SIR which was held in 2003 was held 1 year before the National Lok Sabha elections, 12 months before. It was held 24 months, 2 years before the assembly elections. Today you are having in July a maximum period of 1 or 2 months for an electoral revision exercise of the second most largest electoral populated state in India, called Bihar. Roughly under 8 crore voters, slightly under 8 crore voters. You want to have it in 1.5 to 2 months. Actually in only 1 month, July, but if you count all the other things, maybe in 2 months. The third point we raised was that disenfranchisement, disempowerment is the worst attack on the basic structure of the Constitution. We gave universal adult suffrage in 1950, when countries, so-called advanced countries like USA and UK got it only in 1924 and 1928. We gave to all women, to all men, the same vote. Today every vote counts, even if you wrongfully delete or wrongfully add a single voter. It is creating a non-level playing field. That affects elections. That affects democracy. And elections and democracy are part of the basic structure. And you know, a basic structure has said that even a constitutional amendment is unconstitutional if it violates the basic structure. Now, why this can happen, very likely to happen, is very simple. You have jettisoned and abandoned what you have been using for last several decades, on which you have carried a crusade in the country, Aadhaar card, or a combination of Aadhaar and a ration card. This time you say that to establish residence, to establish identity on the electoral roll, unless you are on the electoral roll of 2003, all other names, that is 22 years ago, all other names have to produce a birth certificate. In one category, you have to produce the birth certificate of yourself and your father or mother. Now, how do you expect a very, very diverse profile of Bihar's voting population, the backward, the flood affected, the poor impoverished, the SC/ST, the unempowered, or even the migrant, to spend the next 2 months running from pillar to post to get a birth certificate of his own or the father or mother. It is easy to say that volunteers will help him, but if he does not get within the time limit this certificate, he loses his place on the electoral roll. We have said that upwards of 2.5 or 3 crore persons, let us assume the minimum figure of 2 crore people, may be disenfranchised by this exercise. Is this to be done in 2 months? Suddenly before the election? We are not against it. It can be done with great caution, great care, great comprehensiveness and great time invested after this election. Then you have 5 years for Bihar. Why choose this on the very cusp of the election? We also then asked the question, when did you think about this? You had a SSR, which is a summary revision in 2024 October you started it. You gave statements about educating voters, about educating political parties, about having training camps for BLOs, training camps for electoral officers. You said so in the published Election Commission statements of January, April and May, and finally in middle of June you gave a statement. Till middle of June, in all these statements you never mentioned a SIR. Not once. Suddenly you said so towards the end of June and gave 1.5 months. This is a vital part of fair and free elections, and you cannot spring this in this short a time for such a huge mammoth electoral exercise. We believe that migratory persons who have to travel for work, cannot be at the beck and call of the person who knocks on the door saying, please fill up the enumeration form. He does not have time. But he has been there on the electoral roll from 2003. He has voted in 4 elections, or maybe 5 elections. And he will say suddenly, sir, sorry, this time you did not produce your own card, birth certificate card, or your mother or father's, you are out. He will not have time to challenge in court. By the time he finds this out and goes to court, elections would have begun. The law is that when electoral process starts, challenges are not heard by courts. So this is a very serious thing. There are many other issues we have no time for, but the Election Commission, though it heard us, seems to be completely disinclined to accept our submissions. One of the main points they made, we pointed out, was not valid, and one of the main points made was that, or rather 2 or 3 main points I will discuss in less than 1 minute and finish. Point 1 said was that how can we listen to you or change our view because each of your same political parties has increased the BLO figures, the booth level agent figures, by hundreds after our announcement 7 days ago. I pointed out that there is no contradiction in this. You make a new rule, we have no option but to increase our booth level agents. But that does not mean that we can't ask the if question. That does not mean that we can't come and ask you to change the rule itself because the rule is wrong. Now today if you go ahead with the rule, I have no option but to increase my booth level agents. Another argument given was that because you made so many complaints about the validity of electoral rolls in Maharashtra, it was important to do the exercise in Bihar. Well, if you had to do the exercise because we complain, it doesn't mean we can't complain about Maharashtra. It means that you should wait and do an exercise which will give purity to Bihar after the elections, not in the last 2 months. You can't squeeze us all in time, and so on and so forth.